All right, welcome back campers to another one of our choice board videos. This time we're talking about your classroom banner that is visible when students are in the Stream tab. So we're going to talk about a few different uses that you can have for this other than just being aesthetically pleasing or having a fun little graphic that students see for, a split second before they click over to the classwork tab. But what I want you to consider here is to think of it like a big digital whiteboard. So often when you have students come into class, you have something written or posted up on your screen or up on your actual whiteboard, right? These are just quick little reminders of what you want students to have out in class, or what agenda you have for the day or the class period. So I want you to think of using this real estate in a similar way. So yeah, we could just pick one of the custom graphics that they have, or not custom, but one of the default graphics that they have, or you can make your own custom one. So I'm going to show you a template that I've designed that will allow you to have as many different classroom banners as you want, as well as how to turn multiple different banners into an animated banner that automatically moves through it like a carousel. So yeah, exciting, right? But again, what would you actually put on this? Let's start there. So you might post info that you want students to see first when they enter their digital classroom. So these could be upcoming events, project due dates, class norms that you're wanting to continually remind them of, especially at the beginning of the year, as well as any class goals that you might have for the week, the month, the quarter, and then any other FAQs that students or parents have been asking recently that you want to just remind the class of so that it's constantly there. All right, so let's talk about this template. So in the resource for this video, if you click on the resource link underneath, you'll get this template here. And you're just going to want to click the Use Template blue button here in the upper right corner to make your own copy. Now I already have my own started here, and I'm going to show you some behind the scenes magic for how we made the banner for our Google Classroom for camp. So because it is in slides, the slide is already set to the dimensions of a typical classroom banner. So that's 1600 by 400 pixels. And because it's in slides, you can make multiple slides. And then we're going to show you an awesome website called talltweets.com that allows you to animate all those slides into one GIF. And yes, it's pronounced GIF. All right. So what I have here is our background that I'm sure you've seen on most of our stuff, our Google site, our Google Classroom. It has the Google rainbow here because there's so many different tools and they have all these prime colors that they use for those logos. So it's definitely quite an array. So we've got all those on the front here. And then I figured I could use our classroom banner as a carousel of just our week agenda. So next on this slide, I've got what we're doing Sunday. So little thumbnails of all the different slides and activities that we're going to be going through. Same for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now you notice on each of these, we've got these blocks in the way, right? That's part of the template, just to remind you that these segments of the banner are going to be conflicting with some buttons or text that are already on there by default. So this bottom left corner here is typically where they have the name of your class and section, all that information about the class is there. And then on the top right, they have the customize button, which is always going to be there. So I keep those there just to remind you not to place anything too close to them. Otherwise, they're going to get kind of bundled together and be very busy looking. Also keep in mind that Google will automatically put kind of a darker tint on your entire banner. So you see here, this one in the upper right corner, this was just completely white, but it has kind of a gradient fill here. So it's nice and light at the top, but it gets darker as you go further down. So it's going to be very similar to these. So that's why I don't have a whole lot in the bottom, because it's going to be harder to see or read. But again, this one is just very simple, letting them know what to expect the rest of the week. So you could do something similarly with your students in terms of, big projects or lessons you have coming up that week or that month, whatever you want to do. All right, so now that I have what I want in place, I'm going to go through and delete these boxes, there we go, because now I don't need them. And I don't have to animate these. I could just download each of these slides individually and change them out on our classroom banner day of kind of a deal. But it's kind of nice to have the, click the wrong thing. It's kind of nice to have them running through like a carousel, so you can just, wait the 10 seconds to watch it back play through there. All right. Almost done. Okay. So if I wanted to just download one slide at a time to add to my banner, I'm going to have that slide selected. I'm going to go up to File, Download. I choose PNG, but JPEG will also work. PNG tends to be a little more crisp in terms of its definition. So I do that. And then I'm going to go over to my sandbox class here, where I've got a fun little animation going on here as well. But again, they have some really nice custom. I keep saying custom. They have some really nice default banners that you can choose from. Very simple, sleek design. So if you don't want to get too fancy with it and you're not going to plan on using this real estate to remind students of things, that's totally fine. But for those who are a little bit more type A and want to control every little aspect of the design of their stuff, you're probably going to love this. All right, so I'm going to click Customize, Upload Photo. And then I'm going to find the one that I just made. Should be under Recent or Select Photo. Here we go. And because I just downloaded it, it should be under Recent here. So I've got that open. And then it's going to have you resize here. I always drag to the upper left corner and then resize to the bottom right corner. And then I just click it once, because sometimes when you drag your mouse, it still has it selected and then it resizes it wonky. So now that my mouse can move freely and I'm not resizing it anymore, I click Select Class Theme. So it's going to show you here's what it looks like, and then the default color of everything else that it selected was this gray, but I can choose from any of these other ones. So if I say, all right, there's a lot of all these colors in here, but let's say I want to just do a nice calming blue instead. I hit Save. And now it is, again, see that slightly darkened gradient towards the bottom of the banner, which is okay. You can still tell what it is. It still looks really nice. Notice here the text is right over my image where I thought it would be. Same with the Customize button. But it looks nice, right? Hopefully. And again, this is limited exposure to this banner because students often will click into that classwork tab. But if you get them accustomed to seeing important messages either animated on this banner or just changed daily or however often you need to, they will see that when they first enter Google Classroom. You could also get their attention with animations down here in the stream if you'd like as well. So this, I just used the Giphy extension to download this GIF, and then when you click on Announce Something to Your Class, you just upload it with the Upload File button here. And then you can add a prompt above it too. All right, so let's talk about animating this entire banner. So on this slide here, if you clicked on the word animate, it's going to take you to talltweets.com, or you can just type in a new tab, talltweets.com. And I'm going to go to Tall Tweets Classic for now. Wait for it to load. Sign in with Google really quick. You're just giving it permission to access your slide deck from your drive. All right, here we go. So it loads it in, and you can do slide duration in seconds. Usually 4 to 6 seconds is enough for the brain to quickly scan and process what is on the slide. We don't have a whole lot on these slides, so I'm going to go with the 4 seconds each. And then we're just going to have it go in the sequence that it already is. And I'm going to click Create GIF. And usually it kind of plays through. Here we go. So you get to see a little preview of it to know Is it too fast? Is it too slow? And then you can easily adjust it and hit create GIF again before you save it. So this one's going pretty well. And then it'll cycle back through to the front. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click save. It's going to download it for me to my device. And then I'm going to go back to my Sandbox Classroom here, go back to customize, upload photo. Click select photo. And it should give you the option to use your downloaded GIF. I'm going to hit open. And notice it doesn't have you resize it because it's already the size it needs to be. And aha, look at that, it animated, yay! Hit save, and then let's see this in action. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? All right, so that's just some of what you could do with a custom banner to communicate, which is why we call this banner com, right? You're using your banner to communicate things to your students. So definitely have fun exploring some different options and possibilities for this feature. All right, we'll see you on the next